This is about the Apple announcement a week ago of the new 2880 dot by 2000 dot super screen on the 15-inch MacBook Pro, the additions to Siri, and the anti-Google measures. And this is a video on predicting the future of Apple from the information we got from last week's announcement about Cook's leadership style and versus Jobs' leadership style. And how I read it. And I'm doing this deliberately as a prediction to see if I'm right or not. I'm not sure I'm right. I think I'm right. I don't know whether everybody else agrees with me or not, so we'll see who is. But here's my prediction into the stew. All of my life, people who have bought business intelligence and responded and used business intelligence have failed and have been weak men. Weak men constantly get in the monkey hormone thing and fear competitors too much. And therefore, they become like competitors too much because they attend to competitors, study competitors, counter competitors until there's not much difference between them. This is the danger I felt in Cook's leadership. It looked like, they call it ecosystem, that it was an ecosystem announcement because it had so many various components and no one component really stood out as a shining star. The ecosystem part is more than half anti-Google stuff. That looked sick, neurotic, weak, and dangerous to Richard Greene. And my prediction is if that continues in the iPhone 5 and the next announcements next year, if we get this ecosystem stuff and more than half of the ecosystem stuff is anti-Google stuff, that Apple essentially is dead. And that they're dying the way all other male monkeys kill organizations by letting their hormones and their rank concerns, and I'm better monkey than that monkey, overcome their horizontal serving the customer, amazingly great products for the customer potential. And so, Jobs was constantly ruining companies and products by ignoring the competition and not realizing what the competition was brilliant at. Microsoft preserved the customer's investment in application software for 15 years, while Apple regularly made changes every 4 or 5 years that made all the software applications you've already bought worthless suddenly. I was there. It happened to me, and I got really angry at Steve Jobs for spitting on my $3,000 or $4,000 and throwing it in the wastebasket. And I switched to Microsoft because Microsoft did the work, and that's why its operating system was so god-awful clumsy and slow. They had all this legacy stuff to carry along, but that saved me thousands of dollars when I was poor and a student, especially as a graduate student. I really appreciated that, even though I ended up hating the software. And Apple didn't do that. And so, Jobs just didn't respect customers very much. I don't think he respected anybody but himself much. And until he got married, until his wife made him able to see other people's reactions for the first time. And he stopped ruining Pixar and Toy Story and got on board his engineers. She saved him. As with so many Nobel Prize winners and heroes in history, it's the wife that saved them, and they never get mentioned because all the men are on the committees awarding the prizes. So my guess is that we'll look next year for confirmation. But if next year is another ecosystem announcement, more than half of which is anti-Google stuff, then Apple is dead and Cook is a typical male monkey with hormones out of control and no brain, who looks at the big data advantage of 400 million iPhone users and doesn't realize that the only reason he has 400 million iPhone users out there as big data source is that the product was breathtakingly beautiful. And that if he tries to be breathtakingly anti-Google with his product announcements rather than breathtakingly beautiful, he will soon have 100 million and be a Nokia. That's it. We'll see.